Okay, good evening, everyone. Who's with us? Marky. Hello, Mark.
Yes, Rob, here we are. How are you, Rob?
Mark, I hope that you
Yeah.
have your Chumash with you.
I can get it if you want.
I would love you to get it. I would love
All
you
right.
to get it.
Okay. I'll get
Shoni,
it.
how's it, Sean? How are you, Shoni?
Barak
Nice seeing
and you,
you with
Rob.
us. Linda, how's it? How's it? How are you, Linda?
Hello, Rabbi.
Hello, Gabriel.
You.
How's
How are
it?
you?
How's it? How's it? How are you, Janet?
Thank God, and you, Rob.
Good. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Baruch
Yeah,
Hashem. Hello,
yeah,
Louis.
yeah.
Nice seeing you with us.
How are you,
Louis.
Rob? How are you keeping? Cold enough
Baruch
for you?
Hashem. It is cold, yeah, it is cold, but we have to keep safe. I hope that all of you safe and healthy. That's the most important. You're keeping yourself safe and happy. That's
Yes,
the
it's
most
good. Yes,
important.
it's
We'll give another few seconds and then we'll start the Marky. I hope that you're ready.
good.
Good.
Oh, just by the way, Rob, can you hear me?
Just say,
Okay.
Lord Marky, don't get yourself carried away there, my boy.
Yeah, where's your Chumash? Rob, I must tell you, Rob, Parashat Korach.
Yeah, Parashat Korach. You know, it's not a simple parsha. We'll see now. So, Be'ezrat
Well, I
Hashem,
want to
what's
tell
the time
you,
now? Yes.
I just
yes.
want to tell you, 59 years ago was my bar mitzvah, Parashat Korach.
Oh, so first of all, Mazal Tov. Wish you Mazal Tov. Please, God,
Mazel
many
tov.
more.
And I still remember it.
You still
nervous I
remember
was.
it of Bahat.
I remember how nervous I was. That's what I remember.
Also, I know now now we know your age. Yeah, you're giving us your age.
Yeah, you do. You do. It's 59
Hello,
years,
Brian.
I can't
How's it,
believe it.
Brian? Hello, Brenda. Nice seeing you with us. Thank you for joining us. Brian, thank you for joining us. I think that we're going to start the show because we're already 3 minutes after. So we're going to start Parashat Korach. Parashat Korach, we're going to learn a lot of Musar. I'm going to speak about a lot of Musar in the Parsha. And today the reader going to be Mark, our friend Mark, going to help us. So let's start with the Parsha. The Parsha starts like this. I'm going to read in Hebrew and then Mark going to read it in English. ויקח קורח בן יצהר בן קהת בן לוי ודתן ואבירם ובני אליאב, דתן ואבירם בני אליאב ואון בן פלד בני ראובן.
Korach, the son of Yitzchak, son of Korach, son of Levy, separated himself with Datan and Aviram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Pelet, the offspring of Reuven.
Okay, so in English it say he separate, but in English, in Hebrew it say vayikach, and he took. What did he took? The Torah doesn't tell us. Vayikach Korach. Now, if you look at what we have 4 character traits here. We have Korach, number 1. We have Datan and Aviram, the troublemakers. So that's already 3. And then we have also On Ben Pelet. It's 4 people, 4 character traits, but it says Vayikach. Vayikach, it's mean in singularly, not in plural. Why it didn't say Vayikhu? That's a question that we have to understand. So, בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירוויח, השיעור יהיה פסטיבל לעילוי נשמת זרח בן בנימין, מרדכי בן רחמה, אסתר קדן בת קציעה, ולרפואת מנשה נג'י בן פרחה, שמואל בן מיכל, הרב אברהם בן מרימה, ליאורה בת מרים, ולרפואת, what's her name? דבורה בת אסתר, וכל שאר חולי ופצועי עמו ישראל בכל מקום שהם. אוקיי, בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירוויח. It says ויקח קורח. What it means ויקח קורח? And קורח took. The Torah doesn't tell us what did he took. But the Torah does tells us that he had 4 partners to him. And later on in the second verse, the Torah tells us that he had also 250,000 followers. Rabotai, 250,000 followers. That means if he was in Israel and he wanted to open a party, he will definitely can win and he can be a prime minister. What's happened here? We have to understand why did Korach, first of all, cause all of those problems, as you all know. Okay? And number 2, the audacity to have to try to go against the king of Israel, Moshe Rabbeinu. Where does it come from? Where did he have all of that chutzpah? Where did he have that energy? And what caused him? Be'ezrat Hashem, today we'll tackle it. So let's start. Vayikach Korach. The Zohar HaKadosh in page 176, folio 1, ask, it says Vayikach Korach. Why it says Vayikach Korach? And it doesn't tell us what. So the Zohar explains something extraordinary. The Zohar explained that actually Korach tried to take a wrong advice. He took a wrong advice to himself. What did he follow? He followed something that wasn't belong to him. And not only that he wanted honor from it, he didn't receive that honor and he lost it. And he lost everything that he had. The Zohar says something extraordinary. And listen to that. The Zohar says something. A person that caused mahloket is a faribol. A person that caused mahloket, he actually separate the elyonim and tahtonim. What it mean elyonim and tahtonim? That person caused a separation between the heaven and the earth. What does it mean? Say the Zohar HaKadosh, by that the person tried to cause a faribol, and try to make an argument, that person tried to separate. What does he separate? He separates the earth and the heaven. So what does it mean? Now I'm going to explain. Said the Zohar HaKadosh, the name of the Almighty, one of the holy name of the Almighty is Shalom. What is Shalom? Peace. Say Zohar HaKadosh, by that person caused a faribol, he's separating between heaven and earth. That means he takes the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he separates it. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu that calls Shalom, if he calls Shalom, that means the name of the Almighty is peace, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if you try to separate the peace between heaven and earth, you not deserve to be here. You not deserve to get anything. And what's happened to Korach? He lost everything that he had. Whatever he had, he lost. And whatever he didn't have, he never get. So what's happened to him? He lost everything. Now, Onkelos. I don't know how many of you heard about Onkelos. I'll just give you a quick background. Onkelos was a ger, a convert. Onkelos was the student of Rabbi Akiva. He lived during the time of the destruction of the Second Temple, and he was the nephew of the wicked Titus that came and destroyed and caused all the problem to Beit HaMikdash. And when he converted, he became a great sage. And if you look, there's a commentary in almost every Chumash that called Onkelos. And he wrote like this, Vayikach Korach, he explained, Vayitpalag bar Yitzhar. What does it mean bar? The son of Yitzhar. We know that Korach was the son of Yitzhar. Bar Kehat, bar Levy. He said that, something extraordinary, that Korach separate himself, divide himself. What it means, divide himself, separate himself? From what? What is he cause? So we have to understand what Onkelos tried to explain to us. And Onkelos explained like this. And Hazal explained, from that it says Vayikach Korach in singly, and it doesn't say Vayikhu Korach, and then Datan ve'Aviram, and then On ben Pelet. It's come to teach us something extraordinary. That amongst Korach and his follower was a dividing. They were separated. But they decide that they're going to join together, although all the argument that they have, although the division that they have amongst the followers, they decide, listen, we need to take Moshe Rabbeinu out of his position. We need to cause problem. So what did they decide? They decide to join to one party, although that they don't agree one with each other's idea. All of that, just for what? Just to try to put Moshe Rabbeinu down. So said the Mefarshim, how do you learn that? You learn that from that, how did Onkelos learn that? Onkelos learned that Vaitpalag Korach divide himself, and everyone in that party that was Datan and Aviram and On ben Pelet, they all was in a different idea. Each one of them want the yiches to himself. But they say, wait, let's create a unity in the meantime. And after that, we'll decide in a coalition what's going to happen. So they form a coalition against Moshe Rabbeinu. So he said, how do you learn that? Chazal explained from that it says Vayikach Korach in singly. It doesn't say Vayikhu, because if it says Vayikhu, that means that they're all united. They form a coalition against Moshe, but they didn't agree one with each other. So it's come to tell us from that it says Vayikach Korach, you learn something very important, that amongst Korach and his follower was a division. Each one of them wanted the yiches for himself. Now that we understand the background, we have to understand what caused Korach to cause all of this forever. Why did Korach try to do all of that problem? So the Midrash Tanhuma, it's one of the oldest Midrashim that been written by the sage Tanhuma that mentioned in the Gemara. And he explained like this. He explained that Korach caused all of that forever because he was jealous from Moshe and Aaron HaKohen. That means from Moshe and his brother Aaron. What's happened? What caused him to be jealous? First of all, he saw that Moshe Rabbeinu became the king. Moshe Rabbeinu, the king of the Jewish people. After that, Moshe Rabbeinu, after he became king, he appointed his brother Aaron to become what? The Kohen Gadol. He was even more jealous now. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, listen, I want you to appoint a leader to the tribe of the Kehat. What's happened in the Kehat? Levy have 3 sons. And one of them was Kehat, like we explained. So what happened? We remember the 3 names, it's Gershon, Kehat, and Merari. They was the 3 children of Levy. Kehat was the second child. So now Kehat, who was the head of the tribe? Moshe Rabbeinu, and then Aaron. But now that it's finished, because Moshe Rabbeinu was the leader, Aaron was Kohen Gadol, they have to find a new leader. Who's going to be the leader of Shevet Kehat, the leader of the Kehat? Listen to that. What is his name? Korach say, I'm the son of Yitzhar. Yitzhar was the second brother after Amram. Amram was the oldest one, then Yitzhar. He said, in that case, I'm supposed to be now the head of the tribe. And Moshe Rabbeinu gone and appointed El-Tzapan ben Uziel to the head of the tribe of the Kehat. How can he do that? I'm deserved for the yiches. I'm the next on line. And come Moshe Rabbeinu and he will do whatever he wants? No. That can't happen. Moshe Rabbeinu obviously appointed people just for his family. Why? Because who Moshe Rabbeinu appointed? His nephew. El-Tzapan ben Mishael was his nephew. So he appointed now to become the head of the tribe of Kehat? No, that can't go anymore. What has he done? He formed a coalition with Datan and Aviram and On ben Pelet, and each one of them brought their followers, and there was 250 Rashi Edot. What it means, 250 Rashi Edot? That means each one of them each one of them have 1,000 followers. That means takes 250 times 1,000, multiplied, you'll see what you're talking about. It's not normal. And all of them to stand against Moshe Rabbeinu. How come that how you dare to appoint Mishael ben El-Tzapan as the head of the tribe of the Kehat? That was the variable. The second question that we have to understand, and we have to try to understand, what caused and how a guy like Korach have the audacity to go against Moshe Rabbeinu? Because after all, Moshe Rabbeinu took them out of Egypt. Moshe Rabbeinu was involved with all the 10 plagues, the splitting of the sea, fighting with Amalek, as you all know, bringing the manna, looking after them, going up to heaven, bringing the Luchot HaBrit, bringing the Torah. Where is that audacity come from? Where is that chutzpah come from? That's what the Mefarshim ask. So the Mefarshim explain like this. Now I'm going to bring the commentary of Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol. In chapter 49, say Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol, in Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer. Listen what he said. הקדוש ברוך הוא גילה לקורח היכן כל האוצרות של פרעה. That means, Korach, הקדוש ברוך הוא revealed to Korach something extraordinary. He revealed him where's all the treasure that Pharaoh have. What do you mean all the treasure of Pharaoh? Pharaoh was one of the richest men, and Egypt was the richest country in the world. How do we know that? We know that during the 7 years that was famine, Yosef HaTzadik, he collect all the money and he put it in the safe for Paro, for the Egypt, because Yosef was a tzaddik, he didn't take nothing to himself. So all the money that he collect from all over the world, because from all over the world people come, why did they come? To break the famine, they wanted food. Only food was in Egypt. So people was willing to give everything, not only the Egyptian, all over the world brought the treasure, the money, just to get something to eat. And that's how Egypt became rich. And Pharaoh knew where's all of this money and he hid it, he had a treasure. HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to Korach where was that treasure. So Korach became a rich man. From that richness that he had, that arrogancy, that's what caused him to have a chutzpah and the confidence to go against Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's what he has so many followers, because he was a rich man. And usually people think if they will be a friend with a rich man, he'll give them something. Usually the rich man doesn't give nothing, he keeps it all to himself. But said the Chacham Mikol Adam, the smartest man ever, Shlomo HaMelech, he wrote in his book, Mishle. He wrote the book of Mishle, one of the 3 books that he wrote. And he wrote in chapter 18, verse 23. Listen what he wrote. I'm going to read it in English, and then I translate it to, I'm going to read it in Hebrew, and then I translate it to English. And he said like this, Tahanunim yedaber rash. What it means? A person that is poor, lo alenu, doesn't have money, he will beg, he will ask, please help me, can you help me, please, I need help. Ve'ashir, and a rich man, ya'ane azut. What it means? A rich man will have audacity. A rich man will have a chutzpah. Everything he deserves to get. Everything is belong to him. That means arrogancy. Rabotai, we learn from here something very important. That Korach, not only that was arrogance, he also had a problem. He wanted kavod. All he wanted, a yichus. Let's continue. And then it says, Korach, Vedatan, Ve'aviram, Ve'on ben Peled. I'm still on the first verse, Rabotai. If you look, after that verse, The Torah speaks later on about Korach, about Datan and Aviram, but On ben Peled never been mentioned anymore. What's happened here? So the Mefarshim explains something extraordinary. Where is On ben Peled disappear? And what can we learn from it? When On ben Peled came home, his wife asked him, listen, I don't understand. Did you join Korach and his follower? He said, yes. And she said to him, On, why did you join that mahloket? Why are you trying to cause faribel against Moshe Rabbeinu? He said, because he appointed Mishael ben El-Tzapan. His wife said to him, tell me something. Which tribe are you belong? He said, I belong to the tribe of Reuven. What a question. He said to him, what difference does it make to you if El-Tzapan is going to be the head of the tribe of Kehat or not? Is that affecting you? Will you get anything from it? He said, no. He said, in that case, leave the faribel. He said, but I've given him my word. He said, leave it to me. Hazal said in the Midrash, listen to that his wife, On ben Pelet's wife, just before I continue, I want to tell you, you know who she reincarnated as? The mother of Shimshon, Samson. The mother of Shimshon being called Tlalfonit. She married to have a son like Shimshon that was a judge, that he judged the Jewish people. Why? Because she merited to stop the faribel, that On ben Peled not. But what's happened? She said to him, listen, you're not getting involved. She given him something to eat and to drink, Hazal say, and she said to him, go to the tent. She'd gone outside the tent, she took a head covering and she was brushing her hair. When the followers come to call On ben Peled to join them to the faribel, they saw a woman brushing her hair. Immediately they turned back and they left. Why? Because it was no kavod. And that's how she saved her house. That means she saved her life, her husband's life, her kids, her grandchildren, and all her descendants. And said the Chacham Mikol Adam something extraordinary in Sefer Mishle. He said in chapter 14, verse 1, listen what he said. Chochmot nashim banta beita. A wisdom of a clever woman, she saved the house. She built the house. Who was it? On ben Peled's wife. By that she told On ben Peled, listen, get out of that. That's not your faribel. That's not your mahloket. Why are you getting to something that not belong to you? You from the tribe of Reuven. The mahloket is amongst the Levy. What difference does it make to you in your life? It doesn't make nothing. You not belong. Sit at home. And then continue. Shlomo HaMelech, ve'ivelet beyarda te'arsena. And a wicked woman, she gonna destroy a house. How is she gonna destroy a house? He referring to the woman, to the wife of Korach. Korach's wife, she was the only woman that involved in that faribel. Only woman. She enticed Korach to go against Moshe. Hazal explained. What has she done? She came to him and she said to him, look, you're the tribe of Levy. He said, yes, I'm from the tribe of Levy. I'm very proud. She said, yes. Look at you. You completely shaved from head to bottom. Who shaved you? Moshe Rabbeinu told you to shave. He make you all bald. You remember that HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded Moshe Rabbeinu, that to tell the Leviim that they must shave their body and their hair. And then they're going to be anointed. And then they're going to be lifted by Aaron HaKohen. And then they can serve as a Leviim in the tabernacle. So his wife took everything and twisted everything and caused the faribel. By that she caused the faribel, what did she cause? That she and her husband, not the kids didn't die, but she and her husband and all the followers gone to Sheol. What it means, Sheol? I will get to it just now. Sheol is a place that it's not Gan Eden, but it's not Gehenom. It's a place that Hazal say that when the people go to that place, it's even worse than Gehenna, There is no coming back from it. The Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin speak about it. We'll get to it. Please God later. So Hazal Sel come to tell us that Shlomo HaMelech wrote something extraordinary. When he wrote like this, Chochmat Nashim Banta Beita, the wisdom of a woman will build a house. Who's that referring? To On Ben Pelet's wife. Because she saved him and she saved the entire family. But he continue and say that Ivelet Be'adat Arsena, who is he referring? To Korach's wife. Because she was jealous that the husband didn't get any yichus, anything. She enticed him to do all the faribol. What happened in the end? She lost everything. She destroyed a house. She destroyed the family. She destroyed everything that she had. What is the message? Rabotai, from here we have to understand, and not for nothing I spend a half of the shi'ur on that. It's to teach us that mahloket is a faribol. Argument is like fire. Akadosh Baruch Hu hate fire. We brought the Zohar. Why? Because we're separating his name. His name is peace. By that you're causing faribol, you cause people to fight. And you're separating the name of Akadosh Baruch Hu, Chas v'Shalom, Akadosh Baruch Hu can't take it. Come and tell you, those people that cause faribol, it's like fire. And the punishment, lo alenu, we'll see just now when we'll get to it. Why they've been punished alive to go to under the ground. We'll get to it now. So let's move on. With your permission, I would like to move to verse 5. And in verse 5, we see that Moshe Rabbeinu said to Korach and his followers something extraordinary. וידבר אל קורח ואל כל עדתו לאמור בוקר ויודע אדוני את אשר לו ואת הקדוש ויקריב אליו את אשר יבחר בו יקריב אליו. Marky, verse 5, please.
Yep. He spoke to Korach and to his entire family, saying, in the morning Hashem will make known the one who is his own and the Holy One, and he will draw him close to himself. And whoever he will choose, he will draw close to himself.
Okay, here we see that Moshe Rabbeinu said to Korach and his followers, let's wait for the morning, and then we'll decide. Come Rabbi Haim ben Attar. Rabbi Haim ben Attar, born 324 years ago in a city of Sali in Morocco. And he wrote the famous commentary on a Torah that called Or HaHaim HaKadosh. And he asked the question, I don't understand. Moshe Rabbeinu been commanded by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to appoint El Tzapan ben Mishiach. Why are you asking Korach and his followers, okay, go sleep at night, come in the morning, and then we'll see. And then we'll see who HaKadosh Baruch Hu will accept the offering. If he'll accept yours, then you appoint it. Then you're right. But if he accepts mine, I'm right. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu have to delay all of that? Why didn't he want to do the test right now, straight, finish with that and klar? Why does he have to wait? Say Rabbi Haim ben Attar, from here you learn the Musar. Number one, Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to hand to them, go sleep over it overnight. Sleep on it tonight. Sleep over it. Think about what you're planning to do. Think if what you're doing is the right thing. And if you think it's the right thing, then we'll speak about it in the morning, we'll see. But when you sleep at night, Moshe Rabbeinu was thinking that Korach and Datan and Aviram and the followers will change their mind. They'll think twice. Come Rabbi Haim ben Attar and tell us, from here you learn a very important message to every human being. If you have something to say, if you have something to do, be more careful. That means, don't be quick to shoot from the hip. Don't be in a hurry to do it. Sleep about it overnight. Think about it. Is what I'm doing is the right thing or not? Give it a thought. Say Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, that's what Moshe Rabbeinu wanted Korach and his followers to do. That's what Korach didn't understand. And Moshe Rabbeinu hinting to him. בוקר ויהודה. יוסי, אני כבר אמרתי, בנימין בן זרח. זרח בן בנימין.
תודה, תודה. מחילה על האיחור.
חיים ארוכים. So it says from here, we're learning something very important. You learn that Moshe Rabbeinu tried to hint Korach to tell him, listen, you and your follower, go sleep about it overnight. Think about what you're doing. Think about the faribel, the mahloket that you're doing. Is that what you really want or not? But we know that Korach and his followers didn't accept it. Korach and his followers didn't think about it. They decide that they're going all the way. And now let's go to verse 15 and we'll see what's happening there. And in verse 15, we'll see something extraordinary. What happened? Why is Moshe now getting upset and davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu not to accept the offering? So let's read it. ויחר למשה מאוד, ויאמר אל אדוני, אל תפן אל מלחתם, לא חמור אחד מהם נשאתי, ולא הריעותי את אחד מהם. בכבוד, מרקי.
This distressed Moshe greatly, and he said to Hashem, do not turn to their gift offering. I have not taken even a single donkey of theirs, nor have I wronged even one of them.
Okay, so let's look step by step. It's distress Moshe Rabbeinu. We have to understand, why did suddenly Moshe Rabbeinu got distressed? Until now, the disputing all what you're saying, you don't get distressed. But suddenly you get distressed towards the end. Say the Mefarshim, I don't remember who, something extraordinary. You know why Moshe Rabbeinu was distressed? Because when he asked Datan and Aviram, and he asked Korach, please, let's sit on it, let's speak about it. What did they say? No. Because Moshe Rabbeinu, וישלח משה לקרוא לדתן ואבירם, בני אליאב, ויאמרו לא נעלה. Datan and Aviram say, I'm not coming to talk to you. There's nothing to talk. That's what distressed Moshe. Moshe was so upset. If you're thinking that you're right in that argument, let's sit and talk. No, we don't want to talk. And then they start talking Lashon Hara. Now we understand what stressed Moshe. But then it says, Moshe Rabbeinu suddenly said something very extraordinary and strange. What did Moshe Rabbeinu say? ויאמר משה אל אדוני, אל תפן אל מנחתם. Moshe Rabbeinu davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and begging and plaguing, please don't accept the offering. Don't accept the offering. And Rabbi Chaim ben Attar asked that question. Wait, I don't understand. Moshe Rabbeinu, you've been appointed by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you to appoint your brother Aaron to become Kohen Gadol. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you to appoint Elzapan ben Mishiel. So how come that you have to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and pledge and beg that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will never accept the offering? It's obvious. You're right. What do you have to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you to do it. You didn't decide what to do. That's the question of Rabbi Chaim ben Attar. Very valid question, I think. Listen how Rabbi Chaim ben Attar answer. And Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, when he answer it, he bring what Hazal tell us in the Gemara in Masechet Pesachim. Rabbi Chaim ben Attar say like this. Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Pesachim, in page 118, folio 1, they tell us, En HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekapeach sechar kol birya. That means, HaKadosh Baruch Hu never deprived the reward of anything on this earth. If you've done something good, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will pay you back. Say Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, from here you learn that Moshe Rabbeinu was worried. Why is Moshe Rabbeinu was worried? He knew that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them to appoint Mishael ben El-Tzapan. That wasn't the question. Moshe Rabbeinu was worried, might Korach and his follower, they have some merit. Maybe they done some mitzvot, maybe the merit of their father, the merit of their grandfather, and that will stand for them. And in that case, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will pay them now the reward now in this world, and for the world to come, they lose it. So it's come to tell you something extraordinary. Say Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, Moshe Rabbeinu was so worried. He was so worried that Chas v'Shalom HaKadosh Baruch Hu will pay Korach and his followers now, and he'll accept the offering. Why? Because they done some mitzvot, or they have other merit because their father or anyone else, and that will stood for them. And he davened to HaKadosh Baruch Hu not to accept their merit. What is the Musar here? The Musar here, from here, we're learning something extraordinary, Rabotai. Sometimes we see wicked people that are very successful. They're doing well, but they're wicked. They're doing something wrong. We know that they're doing something wrong, but we see that they're very successful. Those Rashaim doing well. That's the famous question. Rasha v'tovlo. That's the question of Hazal asking. So come to learn from here, Rabotai. From here we're learning that we mustn't be jealous when we see a wicked person that is successful. HaKadosh Baruch Hu pay him all of the rewards in this world. But for the world to come, he have nothing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu not going to give him Olam Haba. So Moshe Rabbeinu was worried that Chas v'Shalom HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to reward Korach and his followers in this world. And then everyone going to speak badly about Moshe Rabbeinu. You see, you appointed yourself, you appointed your brother, and now you're appointing El-Tzapan ben Mishael? No. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, nachon, but Moshe Rabbeinu have to do his ishtadlut. So from here we learn two things. Number one is ishtadlut atzmit. Even when you're right, even when you know that you've done everything, you still have to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And number two, not to be jealous of who? When you see wicked people successful. Sometimes you see a wicked person doing averot, driving a fancy car, living a fancy life. Don't be jealous of him because you don't know what's waiting for them. That's the Musar that we learn from here. Let's move on to verse 30. Now I'm jumping to verse 30. We're still in chapter 16, verse 30. And in verse 30, we see something extraordinary. Listen what it says. ואם בריאה יברא, אדוני הוא פצע האדמה את פיה, ובלעה אותם, ואת כל אשר להם, וירדו חיים שאולה, וידעתם, כי ניאצו האנשים האלה את אדוני. Verse 30, Marky, בכבוד.
But if Hashem will create a phenomenon, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them, and all that is theirs, and they will descend alive into the pit, then you shall know that these men have provoked Hashem.
We see here a very different punishment that Korach and his followers had. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Torah tells us that Korach and his followers, what did they been punished? That they've been swallowed alive under the ground, under earth. And I saw a commentary and a question that been asked by the greatest Mekubal, Rabbi Solimanu Hana. Rabbi Solimanu Hana, just to give you a bit of a background about it, he was the greatest Kabbalistic, mystical rabbi. And he was the student of Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi. And he asked the question, I don't understand. And most of the thing that the Bnei Israel done, HaKadosh Baruch Hu punished them with plague, punished them with that. He killed them all. But in this situation, that Korach and his followers, we see something extraordinary. What's happened here? HaKadosh Baruch Hu punished Korach and his followers that the ground will swallow them alive and they're still alive. Why? Why such a strange punishment? So say Rabbi Soliman Ohana, the greatest Mekubal, he said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu punished Korach and his followers, especially with that, especially with this punishment. It was a special punishment. Why? Because if he would punish them with a plague and they die, people might gonna come and say, listen, you know why HaKadosh Baruch Hu punished Korach and his followers? You know why? Because maybe they disrespect Moshe Rabbeinu, they dishonor him, and because they treat him without respect, they've been punished. But say Rabbi Soliman Ohana, by that HaKadosh Baruch Hu opened the earth, and the earth swallowed them alive, they're still alive. And the Gemara in Masechet Baba Batra, in page 74, folio 1, listen to that, Rabotai. Gemara Masechet Baba Batra, 74, folio 1, listen what it says. That Korach and his followers, they're still alive. Where are they buried? Where are they? In a wilderness. They are in a wilderness. They're under the ground. And Hazal tell us there that they're still alive. And what's happening? Every day they get burned. And every day they say, Moshe emet v'torato emet. That means Moshe, what he says is true, and the Torah that he brought us is true. What does it mean? Hazal tell us a story that was a man that crossed the wilderness. While he was crossing the wilderness, he hears a strange noise coming from under the ground. And he looking around, he can't see what's happening here. Suddenly he saw a small hole, and he come closer and he can hear the voice getting stronger and stronger. But he couldn't hear what they're saying. So to hear what they're saying, he put his ears to the ground, and he hear Korach and his followers saying, Moshe emet v'torato emet. Hazal say that Korach and his followers are still under the ground alive, get punished. But the question is, why? Moshe emet, I understand. What Moshe say true, I understand. But why is the Torah have to add up, Hazal have to add up, that Korach and his followers say v'torato emet, and his Torah, and the Torah is true. That's mean HaKadosh Baruch Hu kept them alive, that if people have any doubt later on, many years later, if Korach been punished because he disrespect Moshe, no. Because number one, he contradict Moshe, and number two, to show that the Torah is a myth, that Moshe Rabbeinu, what wrote in the Torah, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded him to appoint Mishael ben El-Tzapan to be the head of the tribe of the cat, that's the command of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not because this respect Moshe Rabbeinu. So that means that the main reason that Korach and his followers have been punished to be swallowed alive and to stay alive and to be burned. Why? Why? That no one can say that what Moshe Rabbeinu done, it's not true. What he wrote in our Holy Torah. And that's the punishment. Midah keneged midah. Measure for measure. They wanted to say that Moshe Rabbeinu decided by himself, Moshe Rabbeinu lying, has v'shalom. That Moshe Rabbeinu appointed himself as the king, his brother as the Kohen Gadol, and now he appointed the head of the tribe of the Kehat. Yes, Moshe had done it because HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him to do it, and not because he made it. And that's why he brought them alive under the ground, that the ground swallowed them. Now, I would like, with your permission, I'm going to jump to chapter 17, verse 5. In chapter 17, verse 5, it's a very short one, and I'll tell you where I decided to take it. It says like this, זיכרון לבני ישראל, למען אשר לא יקרב איש זר, אשר לא מזרע אהרון הוא להקטיר קטורת לפני אדוני, ולא יהיה כקורח וכעדתו, כאשר דיבר אדוני ביד משה, לא. Chapter 17, verse 5, בכבוד.
As a reminder to the children of Israel, so that no alien who is not of the offspring of Aaron shall draw near to bring up the smoke of incense before Hashem, that he not be like Korach and his assembly, as Hashem spoke about him through Moses.
What's happening here? Akadosh Baruch Hu come and told us something, ולא יהיה כקורח ועדתו, that shall not be like Korach and his followers. Hazal tell us in a Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, page 110, folio 1. Listen to that. De'amar Rav. Rav say, the sage Rav say, כל המחזיק במחלוקת עובר בלאו. That means Rav say a person that keep for and helping for rebel, joining for rebel, helping for rebel, cause for rebel, helping to cause for rebel. Listen what it say. Over belav. That means a negative command from the Torah. That means he come to tell you how dangerous is mahloket, how dangerous is for rebel. Rabotai. And not for nothing. So how did he learn that? ולא יהיה כקורח ועדתו. From here, if someone asks you ever, tell me, when you say to someone, don't cause for rebel, you can tell him it's a negative command from the Torah. He tell you, where do you learn that? Tell him in Parashat Korach, chapter 17, verse 5, ולא יהיה כקורח ועדתו. Who pasken that להלכה? רבותיי, listen, ספר החינוך, Sefer HaChinuch in Mitzvah Resh Kaf Het, that means 228, Paskenet le'alacha, and the Mishnah Brura bring it in Siman Kuf Nun Vav. That means how much we have to be careful not to get involved with faribel, not to be part of the faribel, and not to take side. How much dangerous is the faribel? That Hazal bringing it as a negative command. You never heard about this Hidush. If someone asks you for rebel, you say to them, it's a negative command from the Torah. The Mishnah Brura and many of the other poskim also bring it. Many of the other poskim bringing it, that it's a negative command from the Torah. And Sefer HaChinuch, Rabbi Aaron Levy. Rabbi Aaron Levy he born 770 years ago in Spain. And he said that as a negative command. Rabotai, we think that negative command, you should not murder, you should not steal. You should not have a faribel, you should not get involved with faribel, you should not cause faribel, and you should not be part of the faribel. That's also a negative command from the Torah. Rabotai, I'm bringing all of that. If you look until now, we're just speaking musar, 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 musar. Because maybe that's why we can't sit in shul and daven together. Because there's too much faribel. I'm speaking for myself. No, you all tzaddikim. That message is for me. Maybe there is too much faribel among us. Maybe it's time for us to change our deeds. I would like to end the shiur with something more happy, something more good. But you know, Parashat Korach is all about faribel. And as you know, we start the month of Tammuz. And Hazal tell us, and the Kabbalistic rabbi, the mystical rabbi explained that Yaakov Avinu and Esav, when they was in the womb of their mother, the Kabbalistic rabbi explained, they have argument between them. Which are of the months they're going to take? So Yaakov Avinu say, I'm going to take the months of Adar and Nisan. And we know that Adar and Nisan, it's very good months for the Jewish people. But Esav Rasha took the months of Tammuz and Av. And we know that Lo Alenu, in those months of Tammuz and Av, we have a lot of tzoros. One of the reasons that Bet HaMikdash got destroyed, faribel. Kamsa ben Kamsa. Kamsa ben Kamsa. Lo alenu. Faribol. Again, faribol, 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 faribol. How much we have to be careful not to get involved with faribol. There is someone argue, it's none of your business, don't get involved. What do you want to get involved? And that's our problem, that we get involved. So that's why I brought it, Rabotai. I'm talking to myself, Has v'shalom, I'm not talking to none of you. You all tzaddikim, Baruch Hashem. So I would like to finish with something good, something more positive. Let's look at chapter 18. In chapter 18, verse 20, the Torah tells us something very interesting. Look what the Torah tells us. Vayomer Adonai el Aaron, be'artzam lo tinhal, וחלק לא יהיה לך בתוכם, אני חלקך ונחלתך בתוך בני ישראל.
Hashem
Chapter
said to
18,
Aaron,
verse 20.
Hashem said to
Bechavod.
Aaron, in their land you shall have no heritage, and a share shall you not have among them. I'm your share and your heritage among the children of Israel.
Okay, here we see something very interesting. We see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Aaron, it's not only the Kohen, it's also the Levite. It means the tribe of the Levite and those that serve in Bet HaMikdash, that they not going to have any heritage or any part in the land when they divide the land of Israel. That means that they're not entitled to have a heritage, a portion in the land of Eretz Israel. Not only that, they're not allowed to take any part in the looting when they conquer Eretz Israel. And we have to understand why. Why they're not going to have looting? Last year I explained, because when you loot, you cause pain and agony to those people that you took the land from them, those ones that you took their money. Stephen had done it.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi. Okay. Sam, I was late. There's too many shooting.
Okay,
But he jump around you.
finish.
I got to shop
Please, let
around.
me finish. So it say that why they're not going to have looting, for the simple reason. Because when you loot someone and you take something from him, you hurt him. And the job of the Kohanim and the Levy is to serve in Bet HaMikdash. Bet HaMikdash come to do peace between man and his fellow friend, between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us. How can a person, if he loots something, can do that? It can't. That's what we explained last year. Today I'm going to bring a different opinion. I'm going to bring the opinion of Rabbi Yitzhak Arama. Rabbi Yitzhak Arama, born exactly 600 years ago. He born in Spain, and then during the Inquisition, he had to fled, and he fled to Italy. And he died in Napoli, in the city of Napoli. That's where he died. And he wrote something extraordinary. He wrote a book called, they call him Baal HaAkedah, but the name of the book, Akedat Yitzhak, because his name was Yitzhak, Akedat Yitzhak, he called it. And he says, and he explained, how come that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want to give a portion to the tribe of Levy, and from them, from the tribe of Levy, come also, from the tribe of Levy come also, what you call it, from the tribe of Levy come also, the Kohanim. So he explained like this, and he said like this. He said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose the Shevet of Levy after the Bechorot. We know the story with the Bechorot. I don't want to add up any more Lashon Hara. What happened? HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose the Shevet of Levy to serve where? In Bet HaMikdash. And from the Shevet of Levy come who? The Kohanim, the holy priests. Say Rabbi Yitzhak Arama, HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't want to give them portion in the land of Israel. You know why? Because if he will give them a portion in the land of Israel, they will be busy harvesting. They will be busy preparing the land, planting. they're not going to have time to study Torah. I wanted Shevet Levy and the descendants of the Shevet Levy, that means the Kohanim, whoever come from it, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means to devote themselves to study Torah and to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Say, okay, now you're going to ask another question. So what? All the other 11 tribes not important? You say, yes, they are. They're also important to learn Torah. They're obligated. He said, that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu given us a negative command not to work on Shabbos, not to work on Yom Tov, not to work in Shnat HaShmita, and not to work in Shnat HaYovel. Why? That during all of those days, all of those years, all of this time, that the Jewish people, that they're not from the tribe Levy, they're going to devote their time to study Torah. They're going to have time in Shabbos to sit and to study Torah, to sit and to do good things. So it's come to tell you, say, Rabbi Yitzhak Arama, you learn from here that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't give a portion to Shevet Levi or to the Kohanim. You know why? That they devote themselves to study Torah. And on Shabbos, we're not allowed to do any melacha. Why? That the entire Bnei Israel will study Torah. The Yom Tov to study Torah. Shnat HaShmita, the entire year, in the 7 year, not to work, not to harvest the land. Why? That all Bnei Israel will study Torah, to devote themselves. Shnat HaYovel, the Yovel year, the 50th year, to devote for what? To study Torah. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that if we should all merit to devote ourselves to study Torah, to daven with more kavana, to worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and to devote ourselves to Him, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please God, will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. I will give time now for question. If anyone want to ask question about the Parsha. Yes.
Yes, Rabbi Levy, sir.
Yes, Stevie.
Head of the Levim, Rabbi Levy.
Say again.
Was he the head of the Levim? Korach? No, he wasn't. He wasn't the head of the Levim.
No, Korach wasn't the head of the Levim. You missed. You come a bit late. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What's the question?
Okay. As I was the jealousy was, he wanted to be the.
Yeah, he was jealous. He wanted to be the head of the tribe. He wanted to be the head of the tribe of Kehat, one of the tribe of the Levite.
Yes.
Who was Kehat? Kehat was the second son of Levy. What was so special to become a Kehat? Because the Kehat, we explained in a previous Parsha, that the Kehatim, the job of the Kehat was to carry, okay, the holy vessel, like the holy ark, the menorah, those holy stuff. Now, if you become the head of that tribe, the yichus that you have, and that's what Korach wanted. But because he didn't behave well, and he wanted it to himself, he was waiting to get it from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He was thinking that he deserved it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, in that case, not only that you're going to lose what you have, what you wanted, you're not going to get. Any other question, Rabotai?
He lost everything. He was going into the earth.
Rabbi,
everything he lost that.
Yes, Brian, I can hear your beautiful voice. Yes, Brian.
Good, thank you. The one thing out there, you say you shouldn't get involved in faribel. What is there? Isn't it a big mitzvah to try and resolve a faribel with other people?
Oh,
to act as in between.
You say it every morning. You say it every morning. ואלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, נכון? You say it every morning. And one of them, בין אדם לחברו, a person that brings peace between man and his fellow friend, and a husband and a wife. That's something else. But to join a faribel, what it means to join a faribel? You take inside now. You're not trying to solve the problem. You here take inside. That's what I try to explain. In a faribel, when there is an argument, and you take a side, why do you take a side? What do you have to do with that? If Chaim Yankel and Chaim Shmerel have a fight, It's none of my business. I'm obligated to make shalom, ben adam lahavero, to make peace. That's for sure. I agree with you, but not to take sides. Because when you take side, you inevitably creating more fire into there. You adding up more fire. You understand what I'm saying, Brian?
No, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else for any other question? Bechavod. Anyone for other question in the parsha? Okay, Rabotai, I would like to wish all of you Shabbat Shalom. I would like to say thank you to Marky. And in the same opportunity, Rabotai, I would like to wish a long life to our friend Yossi that lost his father-in-law. Zerach ben Binyamin, nishmato tiyeh tzrura betzur ha'chaim. We wish Yossi, we wish his wife, we wish the family a lot of strength, a lot of koach, and may please God that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send you comfort and לא תראו יותר צער. May you'll never see any more sadness, may you'll never see any more agony and pain. And to all of us, all of those that have suffering, all of those that, all the Jewish people, wherever they are in the world, to wish everyone Shabbat Shalom, a blessing Shabbat, a healthy, to keep ourselves, and please God will go speedily soon to shul, we can daven together, we can study together. Amen, Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Thank you, יישר כוח.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Kol Tuv, Kol Tuv.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.